confirm we now have a quorum, and we do? Yep. And call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are located on the traditional territory of the Liquito people. On adoption of public agenda, I'm proposing that we add an item for discussion. Where would we go, Mr. Corporate Officer, for this one? It would be about asking staff to potentially come back with a report on prioritizing access to bookings based on being a resident or someone that's associated with a resident in a paying area of the gardens.
And I also have an item of new business that I would like to add. And basically it is how the user groups are notified when available, ice time comes available.
Okay, so Mr. Officer, where do we put that at the very end?
A motion to accept the agenda as amended.
Okay, a motion to accept the agenda as amended. Thank you, Commissioner Kerr. Thank you, Commissioner Rice. Any discussion from anyone on those items or any amendments? Okay, all in favor? That's carried. We don't have any petition delegations, do we? Okay, I did see there was a delegation chair there, so that's why I asked. Can I get a motion that the minutes of the regular meeting of the Strathcona Gardens Commission held on March 25th, 2026 be adopted as presented?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Well, we have a seconder by Commissioner Kerr, moved by Commissioner Rice. All in favor? That's in favor. That carries. Is there any business that arises? It's at the very end. Thanks. Any public considerations?
No.
Okay, and I guess we're now into staff reports, which we're going to see the report from the CEO be received with respect to Recreate Aquatic Wellness Project construction update. Can I have a motion?
Move receipt.
Second.
Well, that's a tie. I'm going to give it to Cal. I know the CEO said it was probably Commissioner Kerr, but we got to get Cal in here too. Okay, let's see what staff has to say about our wonderful gardens construction.
Good morning, Commissioners. As always, I'm very pleased to provide you with an update on construction progress of the wellness and aquatic project currently under construction. So since your site tour in late February, a lot of construction, a lot of activities have been progressing steadily in all different areas of the facility. Crews continue working on the roof, building parapets, crews on the basement, installing all the pool systems and other electrical, mechanical as well. And on the deck, there is an incredible constructional work going on in all four different pools, change rooms, sauna, and steam rooms. We are only, I'm happy to announce that we're only less than 5 months away from opening the aquatic center. As you can imagine, there is a lot of work that has to be done, and we're pushing really hard. The team is working together, collaborating to make sure that we actually meet the deadline. It is anticipated that we get the occupancy permits from the city of Campbell River end of August, and we're hoping to have all the operational permits with Vancouver Island Health in September towards the end so we can open doors. That is the target. So far, I've been in close communication with the builder and the prime consultant and the engineering team. The reports that I've been receiving is that we'll continue on target to meet that deadline with some challenges, and there's changing the sequence of work in order to meet that deadline, but that is the goal. Exterior work, as you can see in these images, air and vapor barrier photo on the left side, all the insulation, which is the yellow layer that you see in all the clips, are being installed on north and the west side, west elevations. You can see the photo on the right side has been wrapped with shrink wrap, that's what it's called. And this is in order to maintain all the temperature inside the building for all the thin set and all the tile activities that are coming up. That is required to wrap it on that side just because it's got the majority of the glazing. The frames are about to arrive for the south side, and also the windows are planned to arrive within the next 4 weeks. So a lot of work happening on the exterior. You can see on the left side that the frames are being installed adjacent to Pinecrest and on the lower part of the natatorium. Roof construction continues. We're 95% complete. The weather finally got better, so these guys are planning to come and finish all this work within the next couple of weeks. The lower roofs were related to the lower natatorium, where the wellness and the hot pools are, is complete. And you can see the photo on the left side that is the roof above the sauna, steam room, and the change rooms are also completed. The image on the right side shows the top layer, the granular layer that goes in pretty much 95%. Like I said, the parapets are being built in this time, and drains are being installed, so soon all this work will be done. In this picture, you can see air handling units 208, 209. We have a few of them remaining to be lifted and be located in the roof. But you can see here, those ones have been installed, and connections are happening right now, all related to mechanical and electrical. Interior work, the image on the left shows all related to the structural steel being painted. So those activities have been completed. You can see those, you can see the ducts, they're fiery ducts, as well in white, being installed. The structure for the architectural panels also in place, and acoustics panels that you don't see from there clearly, but all those panels are also in place in the upper natatorium. The image to the right, you can see the beautiful linear panels that are being installed. That's going to be the finish. You're going to have a better image in the next photos, so you can see how it looks from the bottom. Also, that photo on the right side shows all related to steel stud and gypsum board and mudding and painting going in the background. So a lot of that happening within the aquatic facility. These are photos of the leisure pool. So recently completed the water features for this tank, and the layer that you see in red, that's what we call the red guard. That's the waterproof membrane that has been installed. Testing is coming up in this pool within the next couple of weeks before they can start tiling it. You can see on the right side, the scaffold still in place. There are guys working above that scaffold, installing all the, finishing up with painting, installing all mechanical, electrical, as well the architectural ceiling finishes. On the left side is a photo of the hot pool. So that hot pool finally has been completed. All the jets were installed, and as well, all concrete finish. You can see around the hot pool has been waterproof as well. On the left side, you can also see a gap where the drains are going to be installed. That work is actually happening right now, and it's being tested, and it's all going really well. It is anticipated that this pool will be waterproof and tested within the next 3 weeks. On the right side, we have a photo of the wellness pool. It has been waterproof, and it was tested this week. I received the results a couple of days ago, and it all shows absolutely no leaks on this pool. So lessons learned from the lab pool, and I'm going to speak about some of the issues that we encounter and how things are getting resolved. So this is going well, so the sequence has been changed. I anticipate that this pool is going to start getting tiled pretty soon, within the next week or two, no later than that. And you can see on the left side, if you look at the ceiling spaces on the upper natatorium, you can see the linear panels, so you can have a feeling of how that's going to look with the rest of the facility. Also, you can see in these two images, the lower natatorium, that all the structural steel and the structure has been painted, is in place, and ready just to start receiving the architectural finishes. This has been postponed because of the work happening at the bottom, but as anticipated, all that work that needs to happen on all the architectural finishes, all those work have been pushed for June instead of proceeding right now, because they have to get all that work at the bottom ready and completed. A better image of what's happening in the lab pool. So from the bottom, you can see the architectural finishes. So they waterproof, and they tested the pool with water, and they found some minor leaks. I wouldn't say that it's really normal to find these kind of things. This is why we proceed with kind of testing before we actually put any tile. The leaks have, after investigation, it was found that the leaks were detected close to the drains in the deepest portion of the lap pool. So what they did is they cored some holes and they started removing some of the thin set, and they replaced the drains as well. So the drains are holding water right now, so that testing is coming really good. They're also working on plugging some of the penetrations for the light fixtures that go in the pools. They did that procedure with the wellness pool, and it worked really well. Now they're following the same procedure here in the lap pool to hopefully rectify any of the issues that we have. Filling this lap pool will happen next week, and we're hoping to get positive results so we can start tiling as well. So these two images are both for the lap pool. You can see as well on the right photo that the deck is, they're putting the thin set, which is that dark layer that you see is kind of grout. I guess the goal is while they deal with all the leaks of the lap pool, they want to start tiling around the perimeter of the pool to gain some time. So they have changed the sequence. This is not what they initially had, but they had a plan B, and they are following that. A lot of work happening in the change rooms too, mechanical and electrical roughing, pretty much completed. You can see on the left side the structure that is going to support the gypsum wall bore. So that is already happening. I didn't get a chance to have a photo for the last couple of days, but I was there, and so it's ongoing right now. At the bottom, you can see the structure that is going to support the lockers, and the CMU walls around have been completed. So there's a lot of plumbing work going on. Soon we're going to start seeing plumbing fixtures being installed, painting will follow, and so on. The photo on the right side, if you remember when you did the tour, that's the main entrance, the vestibules and the lifeguard. So all that as well is going through major work right now to make sure it's ready. That's going to be the temporary entrance for the facility until we start with phase 2, which is going to have the permanent access. So mechanical, electrical, and going on in these areas as well, all related to steel, stud, insulation, and construction of walls. And then we'll continue with the rest of the finishes. Technical corridor or basement, you have the opportunity to see the amount of work that is going on in these areas. All these spaces are filling up with all pipes, all type of different pipes. We have pool pipes supplied in return. We have HVAC, ducts, fire suppression system, electrical, and a lot of the equipment that is related to the pool. Some little packages for the pumps, heat exchangers, and the UV systems that will treat the water are under approval. We anticipate that all that is going to be on site within the next weeks and installed following commissioning. So I'm going to go quickly here through a lot of the work that is coming up because there is a lot. We only have 4.5 months. So curtain wall frames, anything related to those frames for those windows that you saw in the first image that I projected, that installation continues and goes to the end of June. Glazing all related to all the glass is scheduled to start in this coming month in May, and it's going to go through June. End of June, you will see all those windows there. Metal cladding will follow as well. It's scheduled to start in June and completed in July. That follows a test that has to be done with air tightness, which is something that we have to procure and hire the professional who's going to be doing the testing to make sure it meets the requirements of the energy model and the requirements of the city of Campbell River. Then we have the lower and the upper roofs, the parapet, scheduled to be completed mid-May, so it's coming up in 2 weeks. Mechanical rooftop equipment lifted and connections completed towards the end of June. The tile installation for the hot and wellness pools is scheduled to start in May and completed the end of June. Hot and wellness pool acoustic panels and architectural ceilings start late May and completed in June. The lap and the leisure pool tile starts in May, also completed in early June. The change rooms works progressing, scheduled to be completed mid-July. Thin set in pools deck progressing with tile completed in early July. Drywall and painting for the natatorios underway, and it's scheduled to be completed as well end of June. The entry vestibule, mechanical and electrical finishes completed in mid-July. We have the water slide arriving to the site. Everything has been approved, so that's good news as well. We work on that submittal package for a long period of time, so we have that to be scheduled to be installed in June. At the bottom with the pool, mechanical, electrical pipe and equipment installation, all that continues, and it goes all the way until August, until we start doing all the start up of all the systems and the commissioning. With the commissioning, I just wanted to inform that we have hired the commissioning authority for this project, who is going to oversee the entire commissioning process. Heatherbrae and the mechanical and electrical trades have their commissioning agents. They have 2 agents, one for the pool and another one for the HVAC, electrical, and control systems. So that's going really well. We have had a few meetings, and I'm pleased to inform that so far it's going well with the presence of the Strathcona Gardens managers, who play a big role in this process as well. Site works and landscaping starts in May with the Dogwood entrance. Right now, Heatherbrae is clearing a lot of the trailers and a lot of the materials that are located where the new entrance is going to be, to start that work within the next 2 weeks. Occupancy, as I mentioned it before, with the city of Campbell River is scheduled for August 2026, and operational permits will be here in September. So a lot happening, and as I continue with my updates within the next couple of months, I will let you know how things are going. So budgets, the budget status, back in August 2024, $69.8 million was approved for this project. We have a contract with the builder for $61.6. That includes all the change orders that we have approved to date. We have certified out of that $61.6 million, $37.7. I just want to clarify that the 61.6 includes both phases, the aquatic that is being built, and also phase number 2, which is the renovation of the existing facility, what we call the Wellness Center, which is scheduled to start as soon as we finish phase 1 in October 2026. We have a progress claim for all work completed in March under review. This progress claim is estimated at $2.2 million. We have a contract with the prime consultant and the sub-consultant team, which is formed by all the engineering disciplines, for $1.38 million. We have spent today $869,000, and that includes change orders as well for design work. We have other costs that are $6.8 million, and that includes all the owner's consultants that we hire for this project. We have the testing agencies. We have pool equipment that we recently procured and is currently under review, so we can put a purchase order to have it here ready for before the opening. We're working on the furniture that is required for phase 1 and soon will be for phase 2. That budget also includes the 6.8, all related to security cameras and wire access points, keying systems, and also any contingencies that we need to access in order to cover all the costs to complete the project. So we have paid out of that $6.8 million, $678,000. The total expenditures to date is 39.2 out of 69.8, so we have spent approximately 56% of the total budget. So happy to announce that the project is within the approved budget, so that's great news. I'm just going to speak briefly about quality, what's being done. So we have all the engineers that have been hired for this project doing field inspections. Now they're coming, the architect is coming to the site pretty much every 2 weeks. Mechanical consultant as well is attending a lot of these requests from the building to make sure that we'll continue moving forward and that they approve the work that is being done. They are issuing a lot of reports that we are addressing any deficiencies that come up with this. We also have all the testing agencies reviewing all the work that is being done to make sure it meets the design requirements and any regulations that we have in place. So it's a very strict process that we're following, making sure that any deficiencies get closed, and we'll continue moving forward with the project. We, in terms of safety, which is paramount to the project, over a month ago, we had a failure, a piece of equipment that was inside the facility, an electrical piece of equipment that was rented. It kind of fell. Luckily that there were no damage to the facility, damage to the existing components, and even better, there was no any people injured, either staff or patrons. That happening at night. It all has been rectified. Strathcona Gardens have been very helpful in this process since this piece of equipment was located within the facility. So other than that, we haven't had any safety incidents. Things are going really well with the project. And the last piece I have is communications. After this presentation, I'm going to work with communications to post something as well on social media on our website so the people are informed. We have received a few emails, not a lot, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to get more. People are probably anxious about when are we going to open and what's happening. So I just want to make sure that the community continues updated on what's going on with the project. And you requested a promotional video a few months ago, and communications has worked really hard with the facility staff as well, and also the company who is developing these videos. So we're just happy to play the first video that was posted yesterday. So that is the great news. And after that, I'm just happy to respond to any questions that you have. Okay.
So is it time for questions? Any questions? Director Kerr, or sorry, Commissioner Kerr?
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Wolf, for your presentation. As always, it just really, really impresses me, especially the complexity of this project and how you and your team are staying on top of it. It's not like the old days. This is this is really ramped up, and I'm just really, really impressed. The video is great. I'm going to be glad to share that on social media. One question, like most of the building is steel, right? I mean, the structural, there's just so much. And I see, you're doing the painting and ceiling and everything. What is the longevity of that? I mean, it really, because of the environment, I would think that it's really hard on finishes and pipes and stuff like that. So, are we looking at 50 years before you're going to have to go up and redo something, or is it going to be an ongoing process?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, but I just to confirm that the structure is all concrete below grade, and then it's all structural steel. The longevity of the building in this wet environment and where we use a lot of chlorine, obviously, everything has been protected and painted with a lot of layers that, the consultants decide that. I anticipate this building will be there for over 50 years.
Yeah.
I won't be here in 50 years, that's for sure, so they can come and get me, but it's definitely when I read about.
So the equipment that's being placed in the pool, from the HVAC systems to how we exhaust the gutter fumes in the pool, is sort of cutting edge, and it actually takes away the harmful humid chemical environment. So it's actually the current pool we have doesn't have that. And it's held up with the epoxy coatings that are installed. So I think that this is 50+ years before we have to go in and do anything. And as long as we monitor if there's any sort of defects along the way, there's not going to be any issues. But the equipment, the mechanical equipment that's in place is cutting edge. It's in place in other facilities in the Lower Mainland, and sort of we copy that for this reason. We'll use less chemicals because of it as well.
Super. Okay, no, that's great. And I really, I got to apologize for not making the tour. I was really excited, and something came up that morning, and I couldn't get away. The cladding on the ceiling, what is that? I couldn't tell from the pictures. Is that wood, or is that a laminate, or is that metal?
It is wood.
It is wood.
Yes, it's called the Linnea panels.
Which?
Linnea panels.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And I just wanted to say, if you want to visit the site, just please reach out to me. I will be happy to accommodate that, so you can come and see what's going on. And if the rest of the commissioners want to come back, we're very welcome to see you again.
Yeah, we have Commissioner Grunrud online.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Wolfgang, for your very detailed report. It's a pleasure to see the monthly report. I just have one question on how I know the HVAC air handling units haven't been in operation now, but how they appear to have survived their time on the ground, because I know we ordered them early to save on a few dollars on potential tariffs, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just curious as to how they survived.
Yeah, that's also interesting, because I'm fully aware that when these materials arrive to the site, they're protected. So they have been. So I'm pretty sure that nothing will get installed without verifying that these materials meet the requirements. And there will be, a lot of testing coming up as well to make sure that, it's all good. Like, are you talking about the ducts, for the HVAC system, or is there any in specific, or you're talking about the air handling units, or?
Just the air handling units themselves. They sat on the ground there for, I want to say, a year or more.
Yeah,
and I know they were covered up, but just so there hasn't been any obvious damage or corrosion or anything happened to them while they were on the ground.
Yeah, good question. Well, as you know, those units are going to be there for 50 years to come, exposed to the elements. So we didn't need to protect them. Even if you look at the units that we still have to lift on the roof, right now they have been moved. They're now protected by the elements, so that they're designed for that. But all the components within this shell that protects it, all that has to be carefully reviewed to make sure that nothing has been damaged, that it's operating really well. So that's what we have: the testing agencies, the commissioning agent, mechanical engineer, and also the trades who are responsible for that. And if anything happens, it is the responsibility of the trade to make sure there is a warranty for those units as well that we have. So it is the responsibility of the trade to replace any parts or pieces that failed during that warranty. And even we can chase them after that if we know that was related to that. But yeah, I personally don't see any issues or problems with those air handling units.
Mr. Kentrop, I think, has something to add to the question.
So Cal, the Millwright answer to that is that I did confirm with the construction team that they had to follow a manufacturer's preservation requirement for each of the units, and that should be in the turnover doc. So there was a preservation requirement for anything with rotating equipment and just to check seals and electrical equipment.
Correct. Thank you, Robin.
And Commissioner Rice.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to comment that thank you for the presentation, and thank you for all the information that is being put out to the public. That is important. It's always hard to reach out to people, but I think every effort is being made to keep everybody informed. Thank you.
Yeah, so I have a couple questions. Can we go back to where the financial status is? And I was looking at it thinking, wow, that looks really good. But then I realized part of that budget's also for the second stage, which is going to start in October. So given that we still have a long way to go before we're complete in terms of the aquatic and wellness facility, are you happy where we are in terms of the budget?
Sorry, thank you. Yes, absolutely. We definitely are within the budget. I think we have a very healthy contingency to finish both phases, so that's the great news.
Excellent. And I just want to touch on the wellness center because people aren't real, the wellness stage where we take the old swimming pool area and we redevelop it. And could we just get, in case people are listening publicly or here don't understand what the entire project's going to look like, we have a whole other facility that's going to be redeveloped as part of this and then work together with the pool itself. I mean, there was the benefit of going on the tour that you could see like the rehab or wellness pool, which is going to be used also with, I think, those other facilities where we're going to put in exercise rooms and meeting rooms and other things like that, so that the entire rehab section, I would say, is if you could give me a percentage of the actual pool construction, is it ending up being like 20% or 30% of the budget, along with, like the whole concept of the rehab versus just the aquatics, swim lessons, fun time kind of proportion?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't have that information available. I don't think that analysis has been done, but I'm happy to work on that just to see anything related to wellness, how much would that cost? That's pretty easy. We can work those numbers with the general contractor.
Yeah, I'm just curious. And then going forward, communications, I know we're talking about the actual fun part being opened in September, but good stuff still happening.
Thank you. Yes, the example that you saw was just our first one introducing the series. We are planning on doing 8 different videos and focusing on specific components of the facility. So you'll see something regarding the wellness rehabilitation. Our next one is very much focused on our expansive hot tub and then also the wellness pool itself. So you'll definitely be seeing that throughout the next few months of focusing on specific aspects of Strathcona Gardens.
Excellent. When I looked at the picture of the hot pool, the photograph, and then I was looking, going, where are people sitting? But there's benches built into it, correct? Because it's a long pool, and I was like, where are they sitting?
Yeah, that is correct. The benches actually just got built recently. They did some testing to those benches, I believe, a couple of weeks ago, and it all passes. Yeah, that's true.
So that's why they're not in the photo at this point, like where people sit in the hot pool.
No, there actually are. It's just hard to see it in this photo. Yeah,
okay.
But if you come and have a look right now, you will see those benches.
So I wish Director Lott was still here and other directors who aren't part of the thing, because I was thinking maybe what we should be doing is also planning another tour, inviting all the directors of the SRD in. What is everyone saying there? Okay.
So Sarah just has some information just regarding the aquatics to rehabilitation sort of how we sort of designed and planned and are planning around the work that's being done and when it's finished.
Yeah, I'm very interested because I think it's going to be helpful for me to be accurate this afternoon if the question arises.
Yeah, so we've begun doing our program planning for the new facility. And what's important, I think, for the public to be aware of is that the spaces are not going to be used in isolation. So what we call the wellness pool will be used for rehabilitation and therapy throughout the day when, we have the senior population prefers to participate in the facility. And then in the evening, we'll be using it for children's swim lessons. So that pool will actually have multiple uses. And similar to the main pool, although it is a lap pool, is going to have pretty substantial sized water fit classes and pretty frequently run water fit classes. So even though we call it the lap pool, that's going to be a big component of our wellness programming as well. And then our fitness and aquatics program are working together and doing some kind of creative programming as well. So looking at getting walking classes, for example, in the lazy river, where the classes are walking with resistance to that water. So essentially the entire natatorium becomes a wellness and rehabilitation space, not just the dedicated wellness pool.
So I do have a follow-up, because for years I was involved in people who were injured mostly in car crashes, and very familiar with the physiatrists completely always recommending Strathcona Gardens as the premier place to get your rehab. But it was expensive, and ICBC would often pay for it. And I'm just wondering if we do have some avenues opening up to work with like extended health insurers to have this type of rehab considered a type of coverage that we could promote, especially to businesses in town who have workers or other people that we can maybe find more use and uptake and understanding?
I think the single greatest thing that we can do to create affordable access to rehabilitation services is to build it within our umbrella of existing rehabilitation programs. So we have a team of kinesiologists. The wages that they earn are substantially lower than a kinesiologist who has an independent contract business or somebody who's trying to maintain a brick and mortar business as well as bringing clients into the pool. So because our wages for the staff are lower than contract wages, we are able to offer that reduced cost. We're able to pass that on to the client, which makes a big difference for affordability to the programs.
Okay, thank you. I didn't put it on today's agenda, but maybe next time we'll talk about different types of certifications. So we have other revenue streams and people become more familiar, particularly people who work at the SRD. Any other questions from commissioners? Okay, so we have to vote on the item. All in favor? I don't see Cal. Oh, there he is. Thank you. That's carried. Now, the second motion is that the report from the CEO be received with respect to the invoices.
Move receipt.
Any discussion? All in favor? Now, do we need a second motion to approve them or just? Okay, that's enough. Thank you. And then we'll take, we don't have anything in between, so now we're moving into the closed session motion. No, we do have some, oh yes, we have, sorry, we have yours and mine. Go ahead, Commissioner Rice.
Thank you. I just wanted to get a verbal update on what are the notifications in place when available ice time comes available?
Yeah, I can speak to that. Since late 2024, we followed along with what the CVRD does down island, where online you can see all the available openings, like with our rooms, the 3 ice sheets, all our pool space, and you can see what's not booked, and you can contact our booking agent and inquire about those. And as well, our booking, like for the ice times, for example, our booking agent, she's in contact with the users, not just our major ice users, but some of the smaller ones. And knowing that they're inquiring, so they're in constant communication that way. But the easiest and quickest way is just to see it online. And we did launch our new website last week. So I'll take a look at that just to ensure that that link is available right now, like it was previous to us launching the new website.
Just one follow-up.
Absolutely.
And how, just out of curiosity, how often would that be updated? Is it every time that ice is immediately available?
Yeah, it's live. Like once it's booked, it's live on the website.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I do have a comment that follows up from that. Campbell River just initiated a recreation app, I believe, the city of Campbell River. And I don't know in combination with them or given the advances in AI and technology and app development is like almost easy nowadays. Are you guys working towards that? And then people could sign up for alerts on these types of things.
So we have the same system, Perfect Mind, and we're working with Perfect Mind to integrate our system into that as well. It's not launched or anything yet, but it is something that we've been working on. So we're happy to, and we do communicate with the city folks, so we'll see if they have any glitches and we'll learn from them, but we do plan on implementing that as well.
So anything that arises from that discussion, Commissioner Rice, anything that's interesting? I mean, okay. So the next one that I had sort of raised was potentially getting a motion from the commissioners with respect to having a staff report come back about the various ways that different recreational services are offered and whether you should have like a priority booking space for people who are in the areas where people are paying towards the service. In other words, it's kind of like Ticketmaster, right? You have a 2-week open for the VIPs and then opens up for general booking. And so whether or not we should be looking at priority access, I know some of the places in the Lower Mainland right now are restricting people's registrations if they're not within the contributing areas, because there's apparently a supreme shortage of recreational time, swimming lessons, et cetera, in the Lower Mainland. I don't think we're there, but if we don't ask staff what the status quo is. We don't know what we're facing or potentially facing. So I'd be very interested in seeing how that could be implemented, or we're not talking about the casual attendee right now. We're talking about bookings and various resource allocations. So I'd have to get a motion from the floor if they were interested.
I'm happy to move that motion.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Does staff have any questions or clarity needed, or do they have an understanding of what we're asking?
I have a basic understanding, but would you want that staff report to dive into how minor hockey, skating club, other user groups allow people to join their organizations as well? Because, they do have limitations depend on certain age group, but I don't know how they manage the dynamic between Campbell River and Area D and outside areas. I don't know how they do that, but we can definitely find out. But would you want that report to lean into that as well?
Yeah, I'm of the view that if it's a local organization and they choose to populate it with people completely from outside of the city, I'd be concerned, or the regional district. But I doubt that's happening. It's just sort of a test to see whether or not that's the case. I think most of the beneficiaries, and particularly for youth, I'm not as concerned with youth. So it'd be a question, is it worthwhile, but is there room for expansion? So for example, you have corporate entities that may be interested in obtaining space for their staff or other things for rehab or other procedures. If they have a business entity that's in the regional district, that's in Area D or Campbell River, then maybe they get also preferred access. These are the types of things, you get into different things like, if you have someone who has a house, in one area, maybe in Courtenay and one in Campbell River, well, is it good enough that they're in one of the areas? I think so. I wouldn't want to be too restrictive, but it's interesting to see the curiosity. I think it became a concern to me when I saw that, 40% of users potentially were not within the places that people pay. So then I'm like, well, that's interesting. That means Area D and Campbell are subsidizing an incredible amount of use. And do we want to? That's the question that comes up, is how much subsidy do you want to give? And maybe you do, but I think it's a fairness question to the taxpayers who are funding the facility, whether they want to be funding, $5 million of other users.
Yeah, if I may, Madam Chair. So it's a tricky thing with all facilities. Like, you're going to have, I think the question we have is, you have always, whether you're, Victoria or Saanich or any community, you're going to have some outside usage from people from, the issue really, I think, for all of these facilities and communities is how much adjacent usage do you have, right? Like, I don't think it's our intent to say, if you're coming from Victoria and you're going to visit your brother and you're going to go swimming, you're going to pay 10 times the rate or something. But the question that needs to be addressed in all these communities is adjacent usage. What is appropriate for that, right?
Yeah, and I also want to respect staff capacity but also recognize there's technology now available that can address some of those capacity issues. So whatever, I think you get the idea now what we're looking at. Thank you. Any further from commissioners? Any further from staff on this? Okay. We have to vote on the motion? Yeah. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, that's carried. Now we're going to have a motion on the closed session that the report from the CAO be received.
Move receipt.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? And a motion that the meeting be closed to the public to consider matters deemed to fall within the parameters of subsection 91 D, E, K, N, and O of the Community Charter.
So moved.
All in favor?